Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and today it's Saturday, so I'm here with another slasher review as part of the Horrormans Slashback Slasher Challenge series, and this week it's all about those comedy slashers. So I'm going to be reviewing Leprechaun Returns. I reviewed the original Leprechaun as part of last year's Slashback Challenge, so yeah, I've decided to review Leprechaun Returns for this week. So most of you have seen this, I know, but for those who haven't, I will quickly run through the plot. So Leprechaun Returns centres around a group of science students. They're at a sorority house and they're basically building the house, or at least setting it up to be eco-friendly, to be sort of green energy efficient, if you like. They end up reviving the old leprechaun, who once again is after his pot of gold. And he will pretty much he will stop at nothing to get that pot of gold, including killing off all these people at the sorority house. So that is pretty much the storyline and the plot to this one. Now we'll move on to what I think of Leprechaun Returns. Leprechaun Returns is a fantastic modern slasher from a couple of years ago, and it's definitely one of my favourite slashers over the past 20 years for sure. It's absolutely fantastic, I think, and it's also my favourite within the Leprechaun franchise. So yeah, I have a lot of great things to say about this one and no negatives really. But anyway, we'll get on with the location now. So just as I mentioned during the plot, this is centred around a sorority house, and the house is awesome. I think the location's fantastic. It's kind of in a rural setting. It's kind of in the middle of Whoop Whoop, and there's not a lot of other residential property or commercial property around, and I definitely think it works well, especially for the whole sort of eco-friendly sort of green energy theme that the movie is trying to create, or at least within the sorority house itself. So the location's cool. The house itself I think is really awesome too. It looks absolutely fantastic. I really like the characters in this one. Very traditional and stock standard for a slasher movie, but they all work really well, so no issues there. I definitely have to mention the performance of the Leprechaun. So obviously this isn't, the Leprechaun isn't portrayed or acted by Warwick Davis, who did the original Leprechaun and sort of made the character what he is, but I think Lyndon Porco, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, apologies if I haven't, but I think he does an absolutely phenomenal job as the Leprechaun. He is really good, and I would definitely go as far to say as I'd probably put him on par with Warwick Davis. Yeah, Lyndon was really good as the Leprechaun. The Leprechaun looks awesome, the costume looks great, and the makeup looks really good. So yeah, the Leprechaun is awesome within this movie. I love the kills. There's great variety. There's not a bad kill in this one. They all look really good. They're all just sort of a lot of fun and pretty light-hearted. I also really appreciate the fact that they made a cameo appearance with Ozzy, who was in the original film. He's not in this one for very long, but Ozzy just so happens to have my favourite death scene within this movie. I love Ozzy's kill. He's killed pretty early on, a little bit too early. I would have liked to have seen Ozzy stick around a little bit longer, but yeah, his kill is phenomenal, especially from an effects standpoint. It looks really good. But as I said, you know, this one has good variety in terms of the kills, and they all look really awesome. Now, you guys already know that I'm not a massive fan of comedy when it comes to horror, but I think they blend the two genres in extremely well within this movie. And probably the biggest pro that I have with this movie, or the biggest reason why I love it so much, is the fact that they knew exactly what they wanted to do with this movie, and they absolutely nail it. I think this is a very effective and just a perfect example of how to make a really good modern slasher or horror movie without trying to add too much more to the formula. I think, you know, it's very, very effective. It's straight to the point. It knows exactly what it wants to do, and it nails it to perfection, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's been my review. That's been my thoughts on Leprechaun Returns. I know most of you have seen this one, so let me know in the comments what you think of this one if you have seen it. And if you haven't seen this one, I definitely highly, highly recommend it. The other good thing about this movie is it's kind of like a standalone film within the franchise. So to be completely honest, you don't really need to watch any of the previous movies to get into this one, which I do like. And this is technically a direct sequel to the original film. So if you've only seen the original film and you haven't seen any of the other sequels, you can also go straight into this without any issues. It's kind of like Halloween 2018 in that aspect. So yeah, Leprechaun Returns is awesome. One of my favourite modern slashers for sure. So yeah, like I said, if you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. Anyway guys, that is it for this week's review. Until next Saturday when I'm back with another slasher review, I hope everyone stays well and safe out there, and I hope you've enjoyed this review, and thank you for watching.